Back, Charlie.
People, deluded, I'm back again. It's only right. I've got Kenny Ken in the building. I've got Aaron when he's back. Okay, Aaron's here as well. Unfortunately, DJ B can't be here due to personal reasons, but he'll be back next week. How we doing, lads, man?
I'm all good, but I'll tell you one thing.
A difficult man to please.
I'm all good, but I'll tell you one thing. It's Good Friday, and as a Roman Catholic, it's bloody hard without meat. I'll tell you, it's awful without meat. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I've had too much. Lifetime,
salmon sandwiches, and today I'm gonna make myself a curry, but it's got to be with prawns. You can't have a curry without lamb, and beef, or chicken. Especially chicken. Oh God, it's driving me mad. I can't wait till midnight. I can start eating meat again.
To be fair, I've had mackerel, I've had fritters, I've had snapper, I've had salmon, I've had prawns. I'm done with the fish thing for today. I can't lie, man. God.
You appreciate me a lot when it's Good Friday.
Amen. What you saying, Aaron?
Yeah, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. So yeah.
Oh, right. You don't eat fish on Good Friday, Aaron?
No. I mean, fish and chips. I just thought was a Friday thing. I didn't know there was anything beyond it. Sorry,
you were unbeknownst to you were dead to it anyways, man. I guess Aaron's not a religious guy.
Yeah, no. I totally respect anyone that is. I just don't know much about it, you know. So yeah, I just either of you just don't really.
Aaron, I'd say that. Good Friday when I was a kid it still is a very big day in our family's life. Go to mass, Stations of the Cross throughout the week.
Annoying more than anything.
You got Monday, Thursday, and before that it starts with Palm Sunday, and you have the Stations of the Cross. But the food, oh my God, on Good Friday, Jesus Christ. Fish and chip shops, they do the best trade across this country.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%, man. You know, God knows how much fish and chips shops are going to make. As Kenny's been alluding to, like, it's just fish upon fish upon fish upon fish. But let's park that off for a sec, man. We have to address the elephant in the room. Go on, Aaron.
Do you know what? I promise you, Ken, deluded. Next Good Friday, I will eat some fish and chips. In honor of not knowing what it was all about.
It ain't just fish and chips, bro. It's everything. The whole day has to be fish. Your breakfast, if it's not fruit, obviously, any sort of like anything you would say with chicken, whether you're at work or with your kids or whatever, everything's fish, bro. So for me, I've had breakfast, lunch, and dinner actually as fish. Like, I don't think you want to. Don't join us for no reason. Trust me. If you don't have to do it, don't do it.
Hard work.
All right. Yeah, you took me out of it again. Right,
yeah, no, don't join us, bro. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, man. We've dumped Real Madrid out. What are you lot saying?
Yeah.
I mean, guys,
listen, I'll take it. I was just being polite to Kenny up there. Yeah, I'll go first quite happily. I'm buzzing. Listen, a lot of people don't seem to be kind of getting the gist of. I mean, I'm only speaking for myself here, of course, but a lot of people don't quite understand that the likes of me and Kenny Ken and others are actually double happy. I'm triple happy
as well. It's like you didn't believe in Arteta, you didn't believe in this. Well, hang on, Arsenal beating Real Madrid, but go on, Aaron.
I'm here to hear, DG, mate. I'm here to hear right there. I'm well happy. Why would I not be? We've got to a semi-final of a competition. We've never won in 139 years. We're in a semi-final of a competition we haven't been into in 16 years. We haven't got to a final in 19 years. Man, that's a long time ago. That's the best part of 2 decades. I'm buzzing. I'm over the moon. And do you know what I am over the moon with? The fact that we bloody well deserve to be there. We're not there because of a rotten decision or a referee like that's bought we're there on absolute 100% undeniable merit. And I'll tell you what, that second performance just outshines the first one. And I'd have been happy with the first one. The second one was unbelievable because you're facing different aspects. You're facing, being 3-0 up, and there's a whole new mental challenge of how you're going to set into the game. Do you go for it? Do you hold back? You reserve this or that? And Mikel Arteta got that very right. You've got then 85,000 people, is it, at the Bernabeu, all screaming at your name. You've got youngsters
closing the roof
on the field, closing the roof. There's so many different tasks that we had to face and stand up to. So many tests we had to pass, and it was just tick, 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 tick. Every
100%.
single one of them. Even the three, what I would consider, rightly or wrongly, the weaker sort of players, i.e. Marino, only because he's been played out of position, who's been fantastic, by the way, and I'll say Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's also been fantastic, but, young. Is he going to play to the crowd? Is he going to let Rudiger affect him? This and all that. Unbelievable. And, of course, you get to the likes of Kivior, and of all the two players that done the donkey moment, it was Saliba of all the two. I mean, you couldn't write it.
It's a funny old game, this football game. We love, innit?
And Kivior was fantastic. He didn't have much to do, to be fair, boys. I mean, let's actually get it right. What he done was great. I think there was a last little ditch where he sort of headed the ball away right near our goal line. All of them were fantastic, and it was a different pass, a test set to pass. And I'll tell you what, Declan Rice
mustard
a bloody bow. Do you know why? Because in the first leg, it was all about his moments. He was good in the he was, fantastic in the first leg. Let's not get that twisted. But it was his moments, his goal, and then his second goal that really set us in, set us up for the second leg. And then you see a player, a masterclass, rising from the ashes and just literally taking that captain's armband off of Odegaard for me. I mean, he was everywhere. The ball was whipped in. Declan Rice is headering it away. The ball's shipped over. He's making a last-ditch challenge. You get that wrong, it's a penalty to Madrid. He's intercepted. He's driving. He's passing. He was absolutely everywhere. I can sort of see almost what Chelsea fans were saying about Nkante. When they were sort of like, it's almost like having two men. It felt like Declan Rice was two men. He was just
105 million well spent,
everywhere.
Man.
He was It was 250 odd £1 million players in there. That's what it was. Just literally just mopping everything up. I can't sing his praises enough. And that was, I can't think of whether it might have been Kenny last night said it. Once someone said on Potts' show that it was like a coming of age. And you know what? It absolutely was. Because last year he didn't do very good against Goretzka, against Bayern. And I tell you what, he came back with a proper performance in this. Probably one of the best rounded midfield sort of semi-final performances over the two legs or quarterfinal, I should say, maybe I've ever seen maybe not from any team, but definitely from ours. It was just fantastic. Honestly, buzzing from ear to ear, mate. And yeah, there are some small little niggles I'm sure we'll go into.
Let us know, man.
We'll
circle back on them, but let us know, Aaron, why we're here, man.
Yeah. Well, of course, I see. Did I see Catch in the chat? Then I'm sorry, I'm going to upset you if it was Catch that I saw. It might not have been. I don't know. Odegaard, 10 men over 180 minutes, probably 190 if you count all the added time. We was playing with 10 men, which might make Rice even more phenomenal. Maybe he was doing the job of 3 men. I don't know. He shrank. I thought, you know what? You didn't really have a good first leg. How about going to the second leg and just, really
get your former team as well.
Really shut everyone up. Exactly right. And again, he probably couldn't have had any more bad luck in the fact that the rest of his 10 players had 9 or 10 out performances out of 10 over both legs. And he was knocking on the door of 4s and 5s for me. And I think that's being a little bit generous, if I'm being honest. And
he was involved in one of the goals, but apart from that, he didn't really bring nothing to the table.
Involved.
Involved. I say the word involved.
Pre-assist.
Pre-come and whatnot.
Yeah. Mate, and the only other little bit, and it weren't to knock the geezer.
It's just a reality.
Phenomenal. He's been phenomenal, but why did you let Rudiger wind you up in that last little minute? That was just a small little dampener on anything. Look,
and obviously Saliba's clang up and Saka's missed penalty, but he's calm.
Yeah. Saliba was excellent over the two legs, and Saka missed the penalty, but he makes up for it. Saliba, I know he had that little clanger, and then he had a little miss kick sort of a couple of minutes after, and I thought, let's not this be the little downer. But he was solid. He was solid over two legs. He's had a new partner next to him. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was authoritative. Doing everything bar that, that it didn't hurt us that moment. And I'm just a little bit. It's such a shame, and you could see in Thomas Partey's face, you know, when you look around and think, oh,
he knew he
shit,
fucked up.
I fucked up, yeah. And when Rice went over and told him, yeah, you have some. But now, listen, mate, we can take it as a rounded off. We can look into a semi-final against PSG with a bit of optimism, you know, because I didn't have much optimism about this quarterfinal initially. And I tell you what, they've passed every single test, and it just gives me an opportunity to be able to go into this semi-final a little optimistic against PSG. And you know, dare I say, who knows? There's still 2 games to play, but maybe get to a first final in
Maybe the stars are aligning, man.
Who knows? Who knows? We don't know yet. It's going to be another 3 or 4 weeks until we do. But if we play like that, copy and paste against PSG, we've got a bloody good chance. I can tell you that.
Exactly, man.
For a fact.
And that's the thing, man. Like they've aroused our imagination now. Like, fair enough, I did expect to compete against Real Madrid. I didn't think to get battered, but you know, I couldn't have predicted 3-0 in the first leg. Fair enough, that set you up well. I do think Real Madrid are flattered to deceive. I think the best performances from Real Madrid personally are from their Twitter admin. About 90 minutes is a long time in the Bernabeu. The Spanish press, all of what their players were sitting there and saying about, I don't know what they were saying, but they just thought we was going to fall for the Madrid hype. And they flattered to deceive, man. Kenny, where you at, man? Because I think Aaron's bang on the money, but maybe you've got some different points. Maybe you've got the similar points. Where are you at?
No, it's just similar, really, because, you know, both the first, Real Madrid only had control of proceedings probably in the first half at the Emirates, where they'd be kicking themselves for not taking the chances, especially Mbappe. After that, the game, after the first free kick went in, that's when the heads went down, and then they were taken by surprise when Rice scored again from the free kick. And afterwards, it was an uphill battle for them. I think the 2 incidents changed the game in the second half for me. Obviously, us getting a penalty.
Was it a penalty?
Yeah, it was. It's by the letter of law. It's not a penalty in the Premiership. It's a penalty in Europe, so it is a pen. So, yeah. And you would have thought that when Saka missed that penalty, that would rejuvenated Real Madrid and got them on the front foot and put some, you know, lead in their pencil. And then when the referee gives that penalty to Real Madrid, you could see that if they had got their first goal, the crowd would have been up, and they needed that to get them over the line. But when the referee said no penalty, you could feel game over. From then on, it was a case of us controlling the tempo of the game. Not having with, and if you looked at most of the first half and even last period of the second half, we had more possession than them. We actually had more possession than them.
We actually won both legs as well, which is going over people's heads as well.
A lot of people don't realise that. We had the most possession. And the reason why we had more possession because we kept the ball. We kept the ball away from them. When they did have the ball, they kept on giving it away. There was no outlet from Real Madrid, no one at the top. Jude Bellingham had to keep on dropping deep. You couldn't hurt anyone. And Vinny Jr. and Mbappe kept on running into each other's spaces. But you have to give special plaudits. My man of the match, ironically, obviously, it's going to be Declan Rice, but my man of the match has to say, without a shadow of doubt, it's got to be Yerin Timber. There's a lot of Benjamin White fans. There's a lot of misguided Arsenal fans who are blatantly insulting Timber by calling him a left back, saying, because they've been Ben White fans, let's play Timber on the left and Ben White on the right. No, don't play Timber out of position.
What's wrong with that, though?
Everything. For start, Timber's not a left back. It's shoehorning. You can't just shoehorning someone in the team because he's your favourite player. You play the best player in the position, and at the moment, Yerin Timber is the better right back. He gives us a lot more. I know everyone talks about Benjamin White overlapping. That's fair enough, but you're only seeing 50% of what Timber could do. There's a lot more that this guy can give us. I'm telling you that a lot more that this guy can give us, and it's only the tip of the iceberg with this guy. And the same with Miles Lewis-Skelly, not a left back. We will have to eventually look at left back. But what a performance! Jakub Kiwior deserves all the praise as well because you know why he got disrespected by the manager because there was one game where Saliba was out and he played. Gabriel was out and he played Timber as centre back alongside Saliba. And left Kiwior on the bench. I thought that was an insult to him. But instead of letting his head down, get down. When he did get his chance, he took it with aplomb. And then, unfortunately, we've lost Gabriel. And it's very unfortunate because he's been our best defender.
And he deserves to play in a game like this. It's sad.
Yeah, sort of atmosphere. But Tim Kivior has been fantastic. He deserves every praise. Declan Rice deserves praise. Thomas Partey's been fantastic. He's proved once again he's our best number 6. And Declan Rice just shows you there's, I do think that he's played his best football at his football club in the number 8 position, believe it or not. Even though a lot of people think that he's a number 8, which he isn't. He is a number 8, and I do think that there's levels.
Time to accept that.
Yeah, and the thing is that, but you have to raise the standards for him. You have to say right now, we know you're good at from dead ball situations, free kicks, and corners and corner situations. Now we need more goals because we know you can do it. We know you've got
open play, yeah.
From open play. Remember, he forced a save out of Courtois, a header. We need more of that from Declan. Much more for that. If he wants to play in a number 8 position, need more of that for Declan. And I think we're going to get that. That's why there's levels of Declan's game. I think after what we've seen in the last 2 games, we put Declan Rice in the number 6 position, we got a problem. However, because of Thomas Partey's yellow card, there's going to be a slight shuffling of the pack that people have to make sacrifices. Declan included has got to make sacrifices. All right, Rashid. And and Marino may have to go back to his rightful position, and we may have to toy with the idea who we play up top, because at the end of the day,
surely
we got to sort of move the deck a bit. But at the end of the day, the players now know that if they want to keep the shirt, play well.
Yeah. Can I just say something as well? Because I know you're going to want to bring Rashid in.
You lot go ahead, man. Rashid, get involved when you want to. Go on, Aaron.
Just quickly with Ken, what I will say is I've always politely as well disagreed with Kenny about the Rice position. But do you know what? I'm slowly coming around a little bit.
Yeah, same. Forget the 6. He's at 8 now.
Yeah, Kenny has been saying about the 8 for a long, long time. I've always sort of quite firmly disagreed with it, but especially since he's, I think, got over this broken toe sort of issue and he's come into a bit of form. And I've been watching him play, and especially obviously looking how convincing he was. I can sort of see what Kenny's talking about now. So I'm not totally there yet. And obviously I think he can play 2 positions. I think 6 at the minutes is better, but I'm well coming round to what Kenny's saying now. I'm starting to see it more, if I'm being totally honest with you. And
can't like Aaron, I'm there. He's at 8, man. I was where you was.
And he's not asking for an apology, though, is he? He's not asking for an apology, is he?
Sorry, my name
we debate like grown adults, and we call each other out like grown adults. Like I'm calling myself out now. That's what we do.
Oh man,
we don't have to apologise. We just go. Do you know what, Kim?
Just want to see Arsenal win, man.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd say that to Ken. I tried to last night, but it was so to and fro between people. But yeah, you know it as well, Ken.
Last night was fun to watch. I must admit, as a viewer.
Yeah, no, big up. Go on, Rashid. Sorry, I
Aaron,
jump in there.
Ceasefire. Okay, we're united for now. Okay, let's get through the Champions
until we go out of this comp.
There you go.
If we go out of this comp, by God's grace, we don't.
Thanks for having me on, Kenny, Aaron, as always. Big up to both of you. I think if we're talking about the Rice, what Kenny was saying, what he explained,
and let us know your thoughts as well about the game in general. But go on.
Yeah, well, if I'm talking about Rice, he's talking about how Rice can't break the lines like Partey does. Rice can't play on the turn. That's what he meant by, I think so, Kenny. Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant by Rice not playing the number 6? To be honest, Rice is a destroyer. He's great defensively.
By nature,
By nature. There's not a lot of them there's not a lot of them to his level that you can find. But going forward, I think we can do better still. I know that everybody's going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. Listen.
I don't think you're wrong.
I think we can do better. You've seen youths like Lewis Skelly running with the ball, carrying the ball. I know that they're 2 different players, but I'm sorry, as a number 8, what I learned growing up and the football that I played is that the number 8, you have to do both. You have to attack and defend. And going back to the game, it surprised me, I'll be real. I don't know if anyone in this world was looking at that Arsenal lineup and being like, oh, listen, we're going to beat Real Madrid. No. The first, there's something I don't agree with everybody else is that the first game, I don't think Arteta was the one that orchestrated that. I just believe that it was just individual brilliance from Rice.
Ooh. David, that's
Yeah.
harsh. Because we competed for about 60 minutes, and then obviously the last 30, Rice, magic. I can't lie.
Do you know what? I know what you mean by that, but listen to this. We played with the same lineup, the same system that we played the whole season. Nothing changed. He played with the same. He played with the same system, and we missed the same chances as always. We got to the 60th minute, and then Rice bent it like Beckham. Big up to him. That was an incredible moment for him, I bet. And yeah, that's why I think it was individual brilliance, because nothing changed. We only changed after the 2 goals, and then we got the goal from Moreno. I believe that we would have won the game either way, but I don't think it would have been a 3-0 without Rice's free kicks. But the second game, yes, that was Arteta. Yeah, hats off to him. That was him, bro. That was all Arteta, because the way he shaped the team, the way he put this ultra defensive thing is working against certain teams that play a high line. For example, if you met an Inter Milan, it would be a different story. We all know that.
Fuck, you know, we met them already. We saw what time it is. Teams that want to be open, the PSGs of this world, the Real Madrids. We actually, that's our bread and butter, I feel. I think we do better against the big teams. You could throw that domestically as well with our top 6 record. You're right.
We don't create much, DJ. I'll be real. We didn't create much in the Real Madrid game. I don't know how people are saying that Saka and Martinelli had a great game.
Oh, you're being harsh.
I disagree with that. Let me tell you. Let me land.
Go ahead, man.
Martinelli and Saka hardly touched the ball, but they took their chances. Do you hear what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
And big up to Saka, of course, because anybody that would have missed that free penalty would have been out of the game. He would have been subbed by the 60th minute. He would have been subbed, in my opinion. But anybody that didn't have a mentality like Saka, but of course he's been through this with England, with West Ham. You know, he's been through this, so he's gained experience. Do you know what I'm saying, from the other games? So that's why Saka scored that goal. But I don't think Saka and Martinelli touched the ball that much. I think we created 3 chances and we took 2. I think there was 1 chance from Martinelli.
You're forgetting the nutmeg and the skills from Nelly.
Oh, you mean the nutmeg and the skills?
Hendrick or something.
Yeah. I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm just throwing these things out there. Like,
you always do that, shaitan advocate. You always do that. You always do that to me.
I have a duty to you, man. I have a duty to you.
Of course, I understand that, bro. But like, I don't know. I didn't see it. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't see it a lot, because for me to play for a team like Arsenal, if you're a left back, if you're a left wing or a right wing, because the other day we were talking to Catch, big up to Catch. We were talking to him, and me and him were going back and forth, you know, as always. But we were talking about how, like, he told me Martinelli was defending the whole game. In the modern football now, you have to defend and attack at the same time. If you can't do both, I'm sorry, you can't play for a club like Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? You can go to maybe a Leicester, you know, maybe other teams that can afford you not defending and attacking at the same time. But yeah, man, listen, to be honest, I'm buzzing. I don't care how we win. I don't care if it's just corners, set pieces. Do you know what I'm saying? Open play. I don't really care. As long as we win this, I have no issues with Arteta. I'll be like, listen, fair enough. Here's your 2 years, 1 year and a half, and yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I wasn't familiar with your game, because to be honest, I'm still not familiar with Arteta's game to this day.
Same.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I get how he how he's defending, but going forward, I don't understand how
it's very un-Arsenal like.
A lot of goal. Do you know what I'm saying? How he expects a lot of goals going forward. As you can see, Simeone. Simeone. I'm talking about Inzaghi. Inzaghi going forward is different than our Arsenal going forward. We always have the same system. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what. And they have a player like Martinez, you know, that can create that, and we need that as well in our team. A player that can score more than 20 goals. I don't want you to stop at 15. Do you you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to stop at 15. But yeah, man, I'm still not familiar with Arteta's game, but if he wins
Fair
it,
enough,
he wins
innit?
it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fair enough, man.
Do you know what as well, Rashid? I think there's a point that you was making early on about like we're playing like this against Madrid. It's because we're showing the intensity in this competition. We haven't showed anywhere near the intensity that we've had being up for it like we have in these 2 legs against Madrid in probably 80% of the Premier League games. We do it
was
when we
unlucky,
play
Aaron.
Manchester City. We do it when but with most of them, we don't show anywhere near that intensity.
Can I tell you why,
What I mean? We
Aaron?
haven't played anywhere
It's
near.
easy
Like
to
you
be
said,
up
it's
for
the same
Madrid, man.
tactics, it's the same this, it's the same that, but the mentality, the focus, the drive, the energy just ain't been there.
It's simple as this, yeah? Who did we meet in the FA Cup? Man United. What did Man United do? Park the bus, play the low block, mid block, and they beat us. And we had the same chances because Havertz flopped 2 chances, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Who did we meet in the Carabao Cup? Newcastle. What does
Rent.
Newcastle do? Mid block, low block. Do you know what I'm saying? So if we meet teams like that, we seem to have a problem. Obviously, the obvious problem in opening up low blocks. So our chances, and then we don't take our chances. So our chances will be minimal, as in we won't have as much, but we won't be as clinical. Because against Real Madrid, we had the chance to be clinical. Do you know what I'm saying?
Especially in the first leg, man. We should. It sounds mad to say, but we should have scored about 6 or 7. I know we ain't got a potent striker, but we did. Like Saka should have had about 2-3 assists, and I think Rashid's right in that. It's kind of in that first leg, it was bang on the money in that. That's what we're used to this season. We're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, Rice scored 2 screamers. Marino been in good form, deserves his goal, and we're laughing. But it's kind of a different game, same old things, and that's been the theme of our season, in my opinion, anyways.
But you know what though, DG? I got told by a certain Arsenal fan last night that all season we haven't needed a striker.
No,
Can't even drink my water. Like,
I think it was
big up Big Al, but he's tweaking.
Yeah, but you know the thing about Rashid came up with something very potent, and you're actually right regarding that, because there's a lot of people who were talking about the excellent performances Bukayo Saka has portrayed in the games that he played, especially against Real Madrid. What I didn't realise is that Bukayo Saka's not fully fit.
And that's why I rate him more.
Describe how he ran the game and he was up and down. He had Alaba on toast. No, they were just specific moments where he played in bursts. He didn't play if you speak to certain fans like Odegaard, he was all up and down. You were saying he was injured and that you're not a doctor. Watch the games again. The guy's still not at full pelt. But what he did is that he kept his position. He didn't try to look for things. He waited for things to be provided for him. For instance, on the break, that's when he came alive. But he did his defensive work. But he wasn't up and down chasing the lead. David Alaba. What he was doing was staying in his position. The same from Gabriel Martinelli as well. They played a very, very disciplined game. But Martinelli is probably at a stage where he's a lot fitter than Saka.
Naturally, yeah.
Fitness. That's why you saw that Martinelli evolved when Real Madrid went walkies. He just went right pass, catch me if you can. We missed that.
Martinelli goal / moment.
Catch me if you can. But in terms of Bukayo Saka, still for me, probably 60% fit. Not 100% fit as he's been described. But you've got to remember, because Saka's got a big name. He can score from a free kick and do nothing. That's right, man of the match, 10 out of 10. And that's the beauty of being a big name at a football club. It's the same with a lot of big names if you go back in the age of football. But you can't say that he's fully fit. However, Mikel took a risk. He's put all these eggs in the basket. He's trying to rush back Kai Havertz because the Champions League is the alpha and omega. It's just like last season.
I think he'll be back, Kenny. I'll be real.
Yeah,
I think he'll be back
because it's the alpha and omega. And the same with the league last year. If you look at our performances and all the other competitions, the league was the alpha and omega. It was the alpha and omega the season before that. Right now, I think early doors from about December, confirmed in February, he knew he wasn't going to win this league. He ain't a fool. we protested, and there's a few deluded people. Sorry, I know that's your nickname, but that's not you. But
I'm used to it, Kenny, man. I know you ain't talking to me, man. I've heard that a million times.
Fans who thought Liverpool were going to drop points and we're going to capitalise. We didn't want to win this league.
It's too romantic. We're 100%. We wasn't,
because we kept on dropping the ball time and time again, especially when Liverpool opened the door, not ajar, but just a little bit for us to sneak in like flies. But we just couldn't.
And you've got to close the gap, man.
In the Champions League, that's where everything's. He's thinking, right, this is us one chance to win the Champions League. In fact, the league format suited us and Villa, suits all English clubs really, because certain reasons that there's no seeds, it's every man for himself. Yeah. And Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, all taken by surprise. It's no accident, with the exception of PSG, the three other teams that are in the semi-finals finished in the top 8.
Yeah. Do you know what as well? That's a fantastic point, Kenny. I didn't even realise that as well. It probably did work out in our favour because we're used to playing intense games every single week. I mean, it might not be the best league in the world, you know, in terms of technical ability and all that, the English Premier League.
You got to run.
What it is bloody tough. You have got to work hard, and we're used to that level of intensity. That's a great point. You know, this is why I love listening to people like Ken, man. And sit there and you just that's a double good point, man. Yeah. Do you know what as well I will say about Martinelli? One thing that I did like, look, he took his chance like an absolute Thierry Henry-esque beauty, didn't he, in the final minutes? And that's wonderful, man. What a moment. One thing I did like, and I see that in notes, was all game he was working double hard. There was, I think they'd sort of cleared maybe a free kick they had and it went out for a throw. And do you know what I did like? Martinelli ran up, and I think it might have been Vasquez or someone was about to take the throw, and he just sort of half nudged them or done something to just completely eradicate that quick throw. And I'll tell you what,
I've seen Lewis Kelly do that nonsense as well. I love it.
What we're doing, and it took him ages. And do you know what? It must have taken about 5-6 seconds to throw that ball, but it completely stopped that attack because they were sort of not in, but they were ready to go straight back in. I just sort of loved that little bit, like that Street Fighter-esque sort of football. You know, do what you can. There's nothing wrong with it. He's just stood in front of the gear.
That's something we've lacked in the Emirates era. Let's be real. We have lacked that dark art.
Rudiger was like WWF, man.
We need to sign Rudiger.
Rudiger got away with murder. He's
everyone
people's bonnets. He's headbutting people. Jude Bellingham's moving like a little kid. He's been doing it. Well, a little kid. It's crazy. That's one thing I'll give our players credit for. They didn't bite the bullet. Apart from obviously Partey, he got himself a yellow card, but I really like that. Do you not think Real Madrid is overrated? I know it's mad to say.
No, they're not. I'm not have to step in because the thing about
I'm only asking the questions. I got to be devil's advocate.
It's a good question to ask, but let's not forget
because they ran a lot less.
When Man City won the Champions League, they beat Real Madrid on the way. I think they beat them 4-0 in one quarters at City, and they run right off Real Madrid. That was Real Madrid who were holders of the Champions League in 2022. What happened in 2023-24? They came back just as strong.
You know we're getting them next year.
And that's the thing with Real Madrid. Real Madrid react to bad results. They have to because Real Madrid have to win. Bayern Munich, there's certain teams in the world football have to win. And not
every year.
You can't say that about every team in England. You can't even say that about Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, and Man City, because if you look at the history of English football, those teams have had their time in the sun. Arsenal had their time in the sun under George Graham and Arsene Wenger, even though they didn't dominate. Liverpool dominated, Man United dominated, and now Man City are dominating. In Europe, it's a different kettle of fish. Bayern Munich, you have to win. You have to win everything. And if you don't win, you're gone. Real Madrid, you have to win. Barcelona's the same. There's no extenuating circumstances or context or processes. Those fans demand that those teams, because they're the biggest teams in their countries, get the best players. If it means taking players off Atletico for Real Madrid or Bayern Munich doing what they normally do, go and raid Dortmund, go and raid.
That's why I like Saliba's mistake. Madrid might think twice about him.
You know what I mean? That's football, and that's the thing. That's why I always say we beat Real Madrid and we smash them to pieces, but next season expect them to be a wounded animal.
We got them next year. 100% we're going to play them again next year. It's written in the stars.
Have a little rivalry of them. Like Chelsea have a little rivalry with Barcelona. Sometimes Barcelona beat them. Chelsea beat them sometimes, you know. Don't show fear to these teams because, you know, there's
That's
whoever's
the main thing. What Kenny said. Don't show fear, man.
Don't
That's what I
show
liked
fear.
about the two
And
legs.
respect.
Don't rate them too
Respect
much.
has to be earned.
Exactly.
But the thing with Arsenal, and I say it right now, we're celebrating a lot, and deservedly so. We deserve to take our shirts off like Newcastle fans and show off our
Like
fit
I
body.
normally get clipped up on my watch
Or
taking
big
off my
us.
shirt, man.
Let's not forget, the reason why I'm saying to Rashid, never apologise to anybody. You earned your place in the YouTube stratosphere by being you. The minute you start apologising, not being you. And the reason I'm telling you not apologising, look at the reason why you formed the opinion that Mikel Arteta has to be questioned and that he may not be the right man. Think about the near misses.
We haven't won anything. Why is there apologies?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to remember one thing: why you're here before. And we've been here before, where last season we thought we dared to believe that we're going to win the league.
Over the lines,
we actually thought we were favourites. The season before, we were in that position, and now we're in the same position with the Champions League, where 100% we know we're good enough, but it's just getting. We've seen in the last 3 seasons, this season included, the difference between getting close and winning is that wide with Arsenal.
It feels this close, but it's that wide.
That wide, and that's why we've got to bridge that gap. And that's why when people say that Saliba and Gabriel are best ever as a partnership, they're not. Until they win trophies, they will not be legends.
Surely they are of the Emirates era, though.
No,
surely
you have to win
of
trophies.
the Emirates era. Of the Emirates era, surely.
No, they don't. They don't have to be, because listen, in the Emirates
who's better than them? Let alone individuals, but as a partnership, who's better than them, though?
There is no era. There's no era in the Emirates because we haven't won the big trophies. When we start winning trophies,
the FA Cup's a big trophy.
We can start. We can start by saying, you know what?
In
the best ever Arsenal teams, we can consider Saka, we can consider Saliba, we can consider Gabriel. Until they win things, it's just opinions.
Well, Kenny, let's be real, man. Them players you said they can get into a couple of our legendary teams just on ability.
No, they can't.
Why doesn't it matter, Kenny?
Because they haven't won me. They haven't given me success. They don't deserve it.
Yeah, but trophies ain't everything. If we did the trophies thing, Scott Carson's one of the best goalkeepers ever, surely.
Champions League, deluded, and then they could be Scott. They have no right.
I gotta be devil's advocate.
They have no right to sit at the same table as Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit until they win trophies. And the manager cannot be considered in George Graham's, who's our best ever manager.
Can't talk to Wenger or George Graham at all.
Herbert Chapman and Bertie Mee. Win things, and then we have a discussion. Until then, you're nearly men.
Yeah, 100%. And as well, Saliba and Gabriel are fantastic. But I want to double down on what Kenny said. Until they win something, they can't talk to David O'Leary. They can't talk to Steve Bold. They can't talk to Tony Adams. He was captain for Arsenal for 3 different decades, won trophies in 3 different decades.
Big up Martin Keown, but are they better centre half than Martin Keown?
Yeah,
I'm asking Aaron and Kenny. Nah, I'm just asking on ability.
Tony Adams won the league in 89.
No, I didn't say Tony Adams. I said Martin Keown.
We are talking about elite level.
Is Timber not better than Lauren? I'm just asking the questions. I'm just asking the questions. I have a job to do.
Yeah, as a footballer.
Timber's an invincible, man. Oh, sorry.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, though. It's a tough one.
For football,
what are we saying? We have amazing defenders. I'll be real. Like even Saliba and Gabriel, they said themselves that you're not elite until you win trophies. They actually said it, not me. They said,
yeah, 100%.
I actually consider Saliba the best in the world at the moment. I'll be real. He's the best in the world, as in individually, as in a player. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think that he's so valuable for the team. I would sacrifice like what? I would sacrifice like a Gabriel for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
for
people
Saliba?
do. Yes, I would sacrifice Gabriel for Saliba.
You disagree because I remember you saying you'd rather lose Gabriel than Saliba. I mean, lose Saliba than Gabriel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The reason why I said that is because
I've got to stir this up.
The reason why I said that is because I know the better footballer by a mile is Saliba. I know that Gabriel Magalhaes is not good on the ball. I know that Kyrgios is better than him on the ball. But
that's a lie.
No, that's true. Gabriel Magalhaes, you see his body shape. He's not good on the ball. Not a chance he's good on the ball. He gives the ball. He just paces it and runs back in his position. Whilst Kyrgios ain't got. Says, you know what? Let's have a play around. So does Calafiori. But for Gabriel Magalhaes, he loves defending. He's the only person I see that celebrates, conceding a corner like conceding a goal. You see him. And the way his body shape as well is for defending. No one gets near our goal when he's about. There's no clear shots on goal on these shots. You come down that right-hand side, he takes you away from goal. While Saliba says, yeah, let's have a foot race. I'm going to win it because of my ability.
Yeah.
So there's still aspects of defending that he's going to learn because he's going to get himself. I worry about Saliba that he's going to get himself in the sort of Des Walker territory, Sol Campbell territory. Where, you know, my pace is always going to get me out of trouble. And boom. Something
I just know I'm a good player, so I'm out of jail 9 times.
He's too cocky as well. He's too cocky as well, yeah.
Remember Marco last week did to Des Walker? Des Walker was never the same. Sol Campbell in 2006 at Highbury with Nigel Coker and
West Ham, Nigel
West Ham game. Nigel
he went AWOL, didn't he?
You know what I mean? And Bobby Zamora. What happened there? And I'm saying, Saliba, I don't want that for Saliba. But what I'm saying is that sometimes I understand that in this culture you have to be a total footballer. But the way I look at it right now is that you still have the aspects of defending. Not both you can't be total footballers. One of you has to do the ugly jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what's Kivio? I'm not even dissing Kivio because you stood up tall during the Real Madrid game. Yeah, you've done your thing, but like, where is this passing range? I'm not even trying to say Gabriel's better.
It's not about
but
passing.
What have you not seen that he's better than Gabriel Magalhaes on the ball?
What are you trying to say? You talk about
if we're playing Burnley, you got a million years on the ball. You're going to look amazing.
Being comfortable is not about passing. Obviously, you play the game. We all play the game. It's not about passing.
Yeah, but so you not said Kivio was better on the ball than Magalhaes, but go on, Kenny.
It's actually having the ball at your feet and able to look at options where you're not kicking it out. You're not giving it away because it's like a hot potato. You're looking at it and said, right, this guy's there. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to be able to pass at the right time. That's being comfortable on the ball. We can all pass the ball, but it doesn't mean we're comfortable on the ball. I look at Gabriel Magalhaes. He can pass the ball, so he's not comfortable on the ball. That's the difference.
That's harsh, man.
No, that's
because I've seen Gabriel Magalhaes drive forward with it.
Though, isn't it? It's like a Rio Ferdinand Village.
That's only criticism of his game. That's only slight criticism of his game. Yeah, you know, it's just a slight one.
I hear that.
The reason why I said what I said, Kenny, yeah. The reason why I said what I said is because look at our team right now. We didn't concede any goal. It was because of Saliba. The goal was because of Saliba. That's obviously something you should talk about because for me, nobody's bigger than the club. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that foolishness. But I get it. He's cocky. You know how Saliba is. He's that kind of player. He's that kind. That's what I love about him as well. It's kind of like it's
a double-edged sword, isn't it?
You get me? Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because when you think about it, you'd love a player that's cocky on the ball.
That's his best strength, but also a weakness.
Because that was, I don't know if it was him or the goalkeeper. Maybe the goalkeeper should have told him, yo, Vinny's
I can't lie, Rashid. No? Bro, that's a Saliba thing.
Oh, am I doing the... Okay.
Yeah, it's a Saliba thing. He's bugging. Saliba was bugging.
But you can see that we can't concede. You know what I'm saying? We're not conceding.
Because if Kivio made that mistake, I can't lie. I think all of us, including myself, were having a different conversation about his levels and that. Like Kivio stood up tall, but that's Saliba's issue. He's too laxy.
There's taxation. You've got to remember, at Arsenal Football Club, I don't know. Obviously, I'm only interested in Arsenal. We always had like exemptions for our top players. Henry had an exemption. Bergkamp had an exemption. Ozil got so many exemptions. That they even invented different classes of exemptions for him. Saka.
I make excuses for Saka and their players in our team. I'll be real.
In that territory where he's getting exemptions. Martinelli's had a few exemptions here and there. Kivio won't get an exemption because he's not a big name.
No credit in the bank, can
he? That's how football is from day one.
No credit in the bank.
That's like life, isn't it?
What did Kivio do for us to be like, oh, you know what? He's a good player, but he made a mistake.
You're right, Rashid. That's the thing. You're right.
No, it's true. It's the reality of life.
Well, right. Sometimes some player can not have a credit in the bank, but you just take one look at him, you hear about his reputation, and you just fall in love with him immediately. I remember, I'm older than you guys, Charlie Nicholas. When I was a kid, I asked your dads about Charlie Nicholas. Charlie Nicholas, you know, scored 62 goals.
I've only seen him on the TV, I'll be real.
Goals. League and Cup goals at Celtic, came to Arsenal, didn't have the reputation, but because he looked the part, we all fell in love with him. It was lost on us that he was woefully inconsistent, didn't score his first goal till about 3 months later, and he was just one of those players who was a big moment player but wasn't consistent.
This is why we got Uncle Kenny here, folks.
Bergkamp, who we all loved, couldn't hit a barn door. He didn't score for another 3 months, but
He took a minute.
Thierry Henry, let me tell you something.
Took a minute.
When he first came to the club, you won't believe me, these guys. There was this guy, he's a good friend of mine, John, and we used to go, Thierry Henry, and he used to go, waste the money, waste the money.
I hope you never let him forget he said that, you know.
No. The reason why I didn't say it, because he said it out of strength. Thierry Henry was useless when he first came.
First 11 games, horrible.
His first touch wasn't the greatest. He couldn't hit a barn door from a yard, let alone 2 yards. He was bereft of any confidence whatsoever. And there was one game against Derby County in 1999 where Arsene Wenger said, play up top. He scored 2 goals. He became Favre and never was anything else. You know what I mean?
Was that Southampton?
Give or take the reason why I support Arsenal, to be fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here with PG if it wasn't for him still.
He's a legend. And he let us know. He let us know because of him. We knew that. Yeah. Because of him, we knew that. Because of his questions, he even believed that Arsenal would win against Real Madrid. And I kind of get it now. I didn't get what he was trying to say at first.
I was just thinking, what are you lot talking about?
Because Thierry Henry can read the game. I'll be real. Sometimes I'll be watching, you know, how he does the analysis or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just love it. You know what I'm saying? Not because he's a legend, but he just reads the game and I understand
what he's actually saying about what he sees in the game.
The best thing he ever did was leave Sky and go to
Trust me.
Trust me. CBS, where he has people can listen to him. This Sky is a circus. It's a circus.
You can talk more freely.
Gary Neville buzzwords in there.
It's a circus there where you don't. We were. I felt Thierry was getting suppressed at Sky, whilst when he's at CBS, when I hear him speak, I say, "Yeah, that's good. I like that." You know what I mean? And sometimes it's the right environment. Sometimes you can. There's people go on podcasts. Some pundits don't suit certain TV shows or TV stations.
1,000,000%.
Some podcasters don't suit certain podcasts. It's the way of it. You just have to. The further you go, you learn. You know what I mean?
Where you can be yourself and where obviously you've got to play a bit of a political game.
Yeah. But going back, if we're going back to the whole defensive, all I wanted to say is that without Gabriel, we haven't conceded. Saliba is a presence in that team. I remember Gabriel before Saliba came.
Trust.
He was all over the place.
It was a mess.
Yes. And I understand why he got better, because he didn't get the call up for Brazil. That's why he got better. You know what I'm saying? And big up to him. I love it.
They used to boy him.
But this football, you have to understand, you have to be ruthless. Some of you would say, let's not sell Kivior at this summer. Some of you would say that. But do you know what
Tomorrow.
I would say? I would say, yes, sell him. He's already gone up in price, innit? He's gone up in price. Cash out. Don't. We can go out there and get a better player. Moreno.
Fury's already there. They want to play him at left centre back.
Fact.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's why he brought him in.
Create that competition. I want competition in every place. Why is Odegaard irreplaceable? Why? This is
it's funny you mentioned Odegaard. Go on, Rashid. I want to ask you, man, about Odegaard, but finish what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, look, my views on Odegaard is that Odegaard should be a rotational player. There's some games where you're gonna need Odegaard, but there's some games.
We're being harsh on the captain, boys.
What's that? When we're 5-0 up, Rashid, with 5 minutes
I know
left.
what you mean.
Was he that bad against Real Madrid? Because he did get a pre-assist. He has had a kid as well. We gotta be nice to him.
Listen, I'm the nicest at Odegaard in my
community. Be devil's advocate, man.
I'm the nicest. I'm telling you. Aaron, Kenny, Lee, all of them.
Lee hates Odegaard.
I'm the nicest. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm the guy that's. I'm trying to. Do you know what? I understand. Odegaard's tidy on the ball. I'll be real. He's tidy on the ball. I've seen players like him before, like in real life as well. Like, you know, those players that are tidy on the ball, but that last pass, he's not decisive enough. First. Secondly, he doesn't go into the 50-50s. I'm sorry. You're going to play some games. You're playing for high stakes. We're playing for the Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League.
You got to be a man.
You're going to have to go for the 50-50s. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to be a Messi. Messi goes for the 50-50s, 80-20s. He goes for everything. Why? Because that's the kind of player. you know what I'm saying?
Rashid.
If
He
you
has
think
just
back
had a
now-
kid though. Fair enough. So you
I'm
got
like-
to give him a pass.
Oh,
on that.
You gotta allow him,
no,
Aaron.
no.
He's had a son or daughter. That's a
I don't
big
wanna
change
hear
in
it.
his life.
Oh, come on. Rashford broke up
Yeah.
with his girlfriend. This guy, that. This guy.
These are real
You
things,
can't
bro.
be-
We've all got friends in our
I
personal
ain't
life
having the
that
baby
turn
thing.
mad.
I ain't having that.
I'm not
You still
having
got
it,
to
bro.
go to
I'm
work.
sorry, you
bro.
get paid.
I ain't having that.
You get paid.
I've
If you
got
was
to
getting
ask
paid-
you the questions. I'm not saying I agree with it.
If you was getting paid like us, like normal people out there, I'll be like, all right, fair enough. Do you know what I'm saying? But sorry, man, that's why you get paid the big bucks. You know
You
what I'm saying?
got
You can't be
nannies and that,
thinking about
man.
no. You can't be thinking about okay. So a lot of players had kids, but anyway, point is,
There's single mothers that are still making it happen, and life's mad already.
Come on, man. Big up to single mothers all over the
said
world.
Odegaard
Bro. Like, it's
breastfeeding.
tough.
100%.
I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. He's not breastfeeding. It's his wife. You know, if I ask her, she'll be like, he's useless. He doesn't do anything around the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
So
man.
why?
That's not-
So why are you the captain then? Because I'll be real, yeah. We've all said. I've heard all of us, including myself, say it. Yeah, we like. Obviously, we all don't really care. We don't all really care about the captaincy per se, in it. Because if you're a leader, you're a leader. But we've all said Declan Rice, Magalhaes, even slyly Lewis Skelly. Them men are like captains. Why is Odegaard our captain then? And like,
I'll
what
tell
do you
you,
not
it's not spot the fact because I think what's happening is that for 100% under Unai Emery, it was the players who voted, you know, majority voted for Saka as captain. Now I'm not saying that the same thing would have happened under Mikel Arteta, but I wouldn't rule it out. And I think the thing with captaincy nowadays, whilst you have managers like Amorim,
love
Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, you don't need a captain because they're micromanagers. You just you go and watch an Arsenal game and see Mikel Arteta, and you tell me who's the manager of the field. In the old days,
It was Xhaka up until a few years ago, really.
You had captains like Alan Hansen, you know, Steve McMahon when he had the chance. You had Graham Souness, Frank McClintock, you know, all those sort of big names. Steve Perryman at Tottenham, they're captains. They were managers on the field. John Barnes, when he was at Liverpool, was manager of the field. Now, with these micromanagers, you don't need a captain. All you need is a captain who looks good, or just toss the coin. Tony Adams and Mikel Arteta will be on the floor in training fighting because Tony Adams is a control freak. Mikel Arteta is a control freak, and it would just be kind of be one of those things where it wouldn't work now because managers you have to look at Arteta, just watch him, and watch how he gets players and he tells them where to move, when to pass, when to run.
What's the point of a captain?
You don't need a captain there.
Yeah, you don't need
a captain. You need a captain. And at the end of the day, in terms of Declan Rice and all those modern players, they're okay with that. I'm not saying modern players have got no tactical know-how. I think they have, but they're used to micromanagers now. The new modern coaches, younger coaches, they're all micromanagers.
It's only going to get worse.
You know what I mean? Look at Nagelsmann, the German coach, biggest micromanager I've ever seen. He fell out of people at Bayern Munich because he was too much of a micromanager.
We've got one manager in our country, like
who's this kid born in 1988 trying to tell me what to do? Like he's only 2 years older than Thomas Muller. And it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not lying.
Do you know what the thing is about Odegaard, yeah? Is that Odegaard in certain games he's ineffective. And I feel like it's unfair for the other players. I think Arteta is unfair on the other players like Ethan. You've seen that it works. You've played Skelly and benched 3 left backs that you bought. Do you know what I'm saying? Or 2. So you've seen that it works. There are players down there. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the academy, there are players you can bring to this team. And Ethan is just sitting there ready. Every time he comes on, goal, assist, something happens. You've got to think about it. You have to. You have to be like, hey, listen, I have to give this guy a chance. You know, like I thought that's how football works. You know what I'm saying? When you sign for a club, you know, you play the first game.
I think it's because of the off the ball stuff, you know. I think that's the only thing saving Odegaard. I don't want to scapegoat the guy, but if this was a player that wasn't Odegaard. Like if this was Declan Rice, who excluding the 8 stuff, is someone that just wins the ball back and that had the same things about Odegaard, you get dropped. That's the only thing saving Odegaard.
But that's my point, DJ. That's my point, DJ. Just this one, Aaron. Yeah,
go on, bro.
This is my point about this. I understand what you're trying to say. So if we're gonna play a team like Real Madrid, we'll play Odegaard to defend. I get it. But if we're playing other teams that actually play a low block or mid block, you have to play Ethan. Someone that can pick a pass, someone that can play a ball through the eye of a needle. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of player, someone that can create. Odegaard doesn't do that anymore. So you need to bring in some fresh blood, some new ideas. And I think Ethan is a new idea. That's in my opinion. You need to play Ethan against certain teams and play Odegaard against certain teams. That's my say.
Mate,
Sorry.
He only bought Nwaneri in when both Ethan and Saka, both Odegaard and Saka were fit. He only does this when he's backed into a total corner. Now, people, and quite rightly, are all saying that Mikel Merino, he's been fantastic, this and that, and he has. Absolutely deserves his flowers. But at the start of the season, he didn't go when Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz were fit. He didn't go, right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop Kai today and Merino's going up top. He didn't do that. He done it when he was totally backed into a corner, when he had absolutely no one left, when he had Saka out, when he had Jesus out, when he had Kai Havertz out, and when he had Martinelli out at the same time. He was looking at him thinking, Jesus Christ, what else have I got left? That's all that he does when there's things. And that's why Odegaard will just continue there and continue there.
Aaron, you know what? You're 100% right, but there's a problem, and you ain't going to like it. And neither you, Rashid. You're going to hate it, what I'm going to say. Nwaneri has got to fix up off the ball, mate. I was watching against Brentford, and I didn't like what I was seeing, and neither did the manager. The reason why Odegaard is having an easy run in his side is because Nwaneri, off the ball, he's a kid. Let's go. He's 18, yeah? So you've got to give him allowances. But the situation is that from an attacking, well, he's got the ball in his feet. He's fantastic. He works. He tries to work his arm. But this modern game, if he doesn't do his work off the ball, if he doesn't press and he doesn't, stop the overloads down his side, he won't play. He won't play many games. I was watching the Brentford game, and I said to a friend of mine, I said, "Look, if he doesn't fix up off the ball, he ain't going to play many more minutes. He's not going to play many more minutes in his second half." What happened? 60 minutes, he's got hooked him off, and that's the situation. That's the sad thing about it all, is that in these big Champions League games where we're all like getting it, all saying, right, this is where we've got to put our eggs in a lot of baskets. Certain players are going to be out. Nwaneri isn't part of the discussions. He didn't get on in both games. Now, a lot of that is because obviously the manager's got his first choice. He's got his tried and trusted players, and most importantly, he's married to his system, and only certain personnel can play. But it's going to be quite a shame that off the ball, that because he's not great off the ball, that could cost him big minutes in big games. And it's sad to say that, but that's what I've been seeing with Nwaneri. Again, this is his first full proper involvement in the first team. But football leaves you, mate. If you don't learn quickly, someone else will come and take your place. They're talking about a lad in the youth team. I don't know. You had a youth team who played against Man United in the Youth Cup.
Dolman.
Yeah. He plays in the Nwaneri.
Yeah, but that man are 15 though, man.
Yeah, but all right, but he plays in the Nwaneri position. Time flies. Who knows?
I don't think Ethan's ready to play in Odegaard's role. I'll be completely honest. I'm on him getting minutes, but I don't think he's ready for that.
Why?
We're ready to see something.
Because you got to remember. Sorry, Aaron. Go on, Aaron. Yeah. I'll reply to Rashid.
I'll cut you, bro. Go on.
No, because in a serious note, like I think he can do that, but we got to remember, as talented as he is, my man's 17, just turned 18, give or take, one of those kind of things. Obviously, we all have played football. We understand football. When you're receiving it in the middle and all of that, and it's give and go sometimes, and you need to know what you're doing before you get the ball, I don't think Nwaneri's ready for that. And I'm not dissing him. I expect you not to be ready. I think playing out wide is your thing right now. I want him to get minutes. And obviously, when Odegaard isn't doing anything, I'm on him getting minutes because I want my young players to be uncomfortable. But I'll be honest, I don't think he's necessarily ready. But then you could caveat that.
Does he deserve a chance, though?
He deserves a chance. That's what I was going to say, Rashid. Like, are you ready? You're never ready for anything. You could argue with what we've seen in the 8-9 months, give or take, from Lewis Kelly. Are you ready to play against Real Madrid necessarily? you have to be exposed to that. It's always, when it comes to young players, I always say on my channel, it's like learning to swim. Obviously, if you learn how to swim and you're doing it in a paddling pool, that's great. But with young players, it sounds extreme, but you got to throw them in at the deep end. It's literally sink or swim. I want these players to be uncomfortable. And I think I saw a comment. I think it's whether I like it or not. One with Mikel Arteta, two with the modern day, bro. You've got to be on that defending, and once you lose the ball, getting back in position and all of that. And you did see it. I think Kenny, when I was coming back here, I think Kenny said it. It's that off the ball stuff. It's all great being on it, but when you lose it, are you on getting it back? That's the thing. Like, that's what I think keeps Odegaard in the team, is that, yeah, you're not doing the glee on the ball and the final pass, and we've all waffled about what Odegaard's not doing, but you're doing all the off the ball stuff that Nwaneri can't. And if you're a manager where there's, at the end of the day, there's things on the line and whatnot, you're gonna bet on the experienced player that's gonna give or take, give you a 5 or 6 out of 10 versus Nwaneri, who might be 20 million out of 10 and then 3 out of 10 or whatever. That's
but
why
is it enough to only do the
thing.
defensive job and forget about the offensive job? Is it
No.
right?
I'm not. That's where I'm with you, because at the end of the day, Nwaneri's an attacking player, bro. We've all seen it. We love when Nwaneri plays because he's on shooting. I'm just saying, I think that's the thing with him.
The thing is, though, I think Ethan Nwaneri can learn tracking back a lot quicker than he can.
Yeah, you can learn that stuff.
Up forward. And the thing is let's get it right. Odegaard's been probably 3 to 5 out of 10 this season. I don't think
he's had a
more
shit season
in real any games. But when's he going to get his opportunity then to just go? You know what I mean? I know he's been given a couple of positions, but they've been at the right wing when Saka's been injured.
But when's it going to come, Aaron? When should it come?
I think it should have already come.
No.
Like, I mean, this is the problem, man. Like, we've got a manager that just doesn't change anything. We've got a manager that was 9-3 up after 45 minutes in the second leg against PSV and still didn't change anything. Still didn't try anything new.
Didn't take off Gabriel Magalhaes.
People don't like it, but they're facts. Like, he still didn't change any sort of system. He had the opportunity to bring on kids with 6-7 goals ahead for 45 minutes. And he went, now I'm just going to bring Merino back on. He don't change anything. And that's the worrying thing. What do we have to do? Do we have to have 9-10 players injured before he starts giving Nwaneri a chance at the 10? Now, I'm not saying...
we got to be honest. Lewis Skelly don't get his chance if man are fit. You're right.
But no one does, bro. This is what I said. Marino, he didn't... It's not as if Mikel Arteta looked at him and went, do you know what, Mikel? Yeah, you're a striker, and dropped the other two. He didn't. Back to the corner. Saka.
Happy you mentioned him. I want to ask you a question, but go on, Aaron.
Guess what? He played him only because everyone was injured and he was backed into a corner. Miles Lewis Skelly backed into a corner. Everyone's been backed to it. The only reason why he played Ben White was at right back because he was crap at centre back. He makes all of these changes not because he's a genius. It's not because he's a genius. He makes them because he's backed into a corner, because there's nothing else to do. That don't make you a genius. It just makes you... Well, anyone can make them kind of decisions. Just roll the dice and see what players on the number. Oh, we've rolled a 6. Oh, that's guess what, Mikel? You're up top today, son. That's what it seems like. But the point I'll go sort of back to Ethan Nwaneri is give him a chance. Just say to him, do you know, yeah, maybe you do need to brush up, but don't drop him forever and a day. And the problem is not just dropping him. It's the fact that you're playing a geezer ahead of him. That's equally as crap. All right, he runs around a little bit, but he don't do anything else.
Yeah, if you're keeping it honest, forget experience. They're both,
giving me nothing.
You're right.
But remember the old days. I know it's not the old days. I know it's not. But do you remember when a 10 was just being able to give him a free roam? You don't have to track back.
You just have to make the magic happen. Yeah, million.
Just stay there.
It don't happen no more.
I know we're not there anymore. But for crying out loud, just let you do your thing. Do you know what I mean? And he will learn. I would say it's harder for him to learn how to just put an extra 1K in or an extra 2K in over a 90-minute match than it probably is cutting in and whipping the ball in top corner. I'd say it's probably easier to just do a bit of running around. That will come.
No, it's easier to learn that defensive stuff than to learn what you need to do on the ball. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I would rather a player have the technical level than the running about thing, because I think you can learn that. You can't learn, especially like if we've all played football, bro. If you're 16, 17, 18 and you haven't got a good first touch, you're not good in tight space and all of that jazz, you're never going to have it.
The game has to change, though. The game's changed in such a way where where, let's face it, it's been tweaked a bit, but even when we were playing a long ball game, you still had to, you know, back in the sort of like 80s, there was a lot of whack it and chase it, long ball, whack it and chase it, and the teams managed to survive against the teams that try to pass the ball by pressing them. Pressing football's been around for a long time, and then you had teams that try to play football because of the foreign influence, and now we've got a system of football where it's very influenced by Pep. And I say that disrespectfully, because I think Pep's football is a nice.
Our manager said he was on the phone to Pep after the wins against
and that's fine. But Pep
should be.
I've got no problem with Pep's football, apart from the fact that it takes away everything that I love about the game. It takes away individual quality. It takes away the player wants to play for panache. It takes away your Hollywood player. Everyone's robots now. Even the players with panache are robots. The only players that managed to thrive in spite of Pep is probably Lionel Messi.
That's because he's so good. You just have to let him do his thing.
And maybe Haaland as a striker has managed to survive in spite of Pep. Because you think about it, Pep's system didn't necessarily lend to an out-and-out goal scorer. He expected contributions from all around the team, and he
saw them win a league with no striker.
And he got them. Mick Arteta has replicated that. I believe that Emery wants to do the same thing as well. Look at Chelsea. Look what that Maresca's doing at Chelsea.
They're all the same. They're all robots.
He's enemy of football. He's ruining. I mean, look what he's doing.
That's harsh.
Paul Cole Palmer's got to put out with that garbage, that rubbish that they're playing. It's garbage. It's nonsense. It's not entertaining. I'm not in a club of one. This has been a discussion that has been mentioned, that has been muted by every podcast I can think of, and even pundits on the mainstream. The standard player watching right now is an enemy of football, and that's why I assume a lot of people think, well, I hope PSG win it, and Barcelona win, or they say Barcelona, PSG the favourites. I think a lot of that's to do because they play the football that people want to see, attractive football, whilst us in actuality are robotic in terms of, nah, mate, we're to win, man. This is how we're going. Get past us if you can.
Pep set us up, man. Maresca, robot. Arteta, robot. Robotic football. Ten Hag, robotic football. Same thing. The thing is, the only difference is that Pep, first of all, he has credit in the bank, crazy credit in the bank. But
mad credit in the bank, rightly so.
You know what I'm saying? So he can have a little season off. I wouldn't, if Pep was our manager, I wouldn't be on to Pep, you know what I'm saying? Because of
you'd be a dickhead for saying Pep out, etc. Yeah, he's got mad credit in the bank.
Seasons, and then come on, calm down. Do you get me? That But you look at someone like Arteta. No?
I want my game back. That's
the gang's ruthless.
I can't like Kenny. Fuck the game, man. Let's just win some trophies, man. Fuck the game, man.
I want my game back.
Let's get our Arsenal back, then we do that, man.
I hear what you're saying, and winning's everything, and you're right. Winning is the be all and end everything. But sometimes you've got to have a romantic. You've got to remember why you love football. There's a lot of you guys who supported Arsenal because of certain players. I bet you that player played for panache.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, but is it Pep's fault if everyone's copying him though? Yeah, he's doing the mad thing, but if everyone else is copying him, like the other 19 teams in the Premier and however much in all the other leagues, is that Pep's fault? Or is everyone copying it? And if everyone's copying it and they make the game shit, that's not Pep. Surely you can't.
It's not Pep's fault. Everyone. But the thing about it is that everyone wants to play at the back.
Yeah,
everyone wants to play.
League Two sides do it. The game's gone woke.
Everyone says Højlund at Man United is crap. But how many times has Højlund got any services? How many times have you seen Bruno Fernandes pass the ball to him? How many times have they got the ball? How many times have he been set?
His touch a bit bad. His touch is a bit bad.
His touch is bad. But you look at the situation. I would hate to be a striker in that team.
I'd hate to be a striker in 9 teams out of 10, if I'm completely honest with you.
I'll hate to be a striker today because the simple reason is that. But you know, one thing that I gets on my go up as well. When I see inverted wingers play, I've got no problem with them. But I'm sorry, if you're going towards goal, why are you not scoring 15 or 20 goals a season?
Facts.
Why? Facts. Help me out.
You're playing the safe pass. They want to keep possession rather than trying something.
What's funny, right? You got opportunities to have shots on goal, get into goal scoring areas. Why am I looking at your stats? I'm less than impressed.
That's why I like Salah and Saka. I'll be honest, because in the modern day, they're on just shooting when the opportunity provides it. You look at someone like Grealish, who I love as a footballer, but whether it's him, whether it's Pep telling you to do it, I know in his heart. I mean, I don't know because I've never had a conversation with Grealish, but I think you're a Bobby Dazzler. I think you're fucking amazing on the ball. I sometimes watch City play or when the rare time Grealish plays, and I can see in your heart, you want to take your man on and do something. If you was at Villa, you would have done it. But you know you're scared, so you're just going to give it back to your left back because the manager can't say anything with that. And I think that is the annoying thing about football for me.
Hey, one more controversy, and please, I can't wait to boil something very hot. Mane is better than Saka. Sorry, but Mane is better than Salah.
I think
as a footballer, as a player,
Mane's awesome, man.
Mane in his pomp is better than Salah. When Mane and Salah were together at Liverpool, Mane was the better player. Liverpool,
but it's a problem.
Right, I'm going to rephrase that. Liverpool have never, ever, ever got over losing Mane because Diaz.
Yeah, because the left wingers are shit. But come on,
anyone who's replaced him has never been a thing. If Liverpool had Mane instead of Diaz, and Gatko, Liverpool probably pissed the league.
Yeah, but that's like me saying if we had Alexis and not Martinelli on the left wing, though.
I'm just. When I hear all this stuff about Salah, I also watch Liverpool games with both of him on the side, and I always had this belief that Mane was the better player. That's my.
I used to think like that, but come on, man.
This is one of the things where, like, you'd say Ronaldinho, maybe arguably our best footballer that we ever watched.
I knew Rashid had talent, you know. I knew Rashid knew ball, you know. Big him up.
Bro,
go on, Rashid.
Ronaldinho, man, like that guy is just. When I used to watch him, obviously we didn't get the chance to watch him properly, you know what I'm saying, because he died off, you know, which I get, you know what I'm saying.
I think he's the best player I've ever seen. I'll be real. Ronaldinho is everything to me.
Yeah, I'm saying I can't blame my guy. You know what I'm saying.
You know what?
I
like to drink too much, but he's calm.
but that's what made him good.
But there's no
exactly,
GA.
Aaron.
But there's no GA. I can't come to these kids and tell them, yo, bro, this guy's a baller. They'll be like, wait, let me check. They'll do.
No, 1,000,000%. That's no GA is
the game.
GA is the game.
I scored 64 goals.
Sorry, guys. I really apologise. Terrence Tibbs, that is lazy.
What's he saying?
I won't repeat it because I don't want to disrupt the show.
No, say it, Kenny, bro. This is a calm stream. Say what you said.
No. He says something that he's going to regret. He doesn't need to say that. It's silly. It's lazy. It's not just
Brazil.
It's nothing to do with that.
The one above that. The one above that.
And how
above this comment on screen.
It was just.
It's an underbelly colour thing. That's what you said.
There's bare racism in football. This is not one of them. Allow it, bro.
No. That's lazy. That's lazy.
This has nothing to do with things.
Nothing to do with that at all. It's all right. Jamie Carragher is like I said, is Anglo-Saxon Irish. He talks about Mane in glowing terms, and he
gassed his Mane. It's not a colour.
He rates Mane and Salah. So what you say to Jamie Carragher?
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with colour, man. Lewis Kelly, with how they speak about him, that's a colour thing. This has nothing to do with colour, bro.
Ken, can I bring back the striker thing that you said a little bit ago to change swiftly the subject? Yeah. Can I talk about the striker thing? Yeah. Do you know what? Me and Lee and Matty off camera spent about an hour and a half, something like that. And I think Matty stayed for a little bit longer. We was watching Stoichkov, Hadji, Gabriel Batistuta, all of the old school strikers.
Matty loved that.
Do you know what, man? That was watching Adriano, all of them ballers, and we was there just in absolute awe. And do you know what? We was absolutely loving every single second of it. And then, you know, there was a moment where it was just a little bit depressing because we've just got nothing like that in football right now. Nothing like that in modern day football. And you was mentioning something about the strikers and the quality. And it just brought me back to last night when we just sat there and we was like, look at these guys. The goals they were scoring were just ridiculous. You know what I mean? There's proper strikers when football was just unbelievable, man. DG2, man. Yeah, Hadji, man.
Hadji,
We had him on the screen for about 20 minutes, mate.
Oh,
just
God.
watching him put in banger after banger after banger for Hungary. It was a
the Eastern European Maradona.
Yeah.
There
was a lot. There was a lot, man. Rui Costa as well. One of the players I liked. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot. Zinedine Zidane, obviously. Not on a bias thing, but legend.
100%
not on a bias thing, but a
I'm with
legend.
you with that.
Is it bias?
I'm with you with that. He's baller, bro.
It is a color thing then.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Zinedine Zidane is a now, but Zinedine Zidane, man.
Even the 06 World Cup, where the Zidanes, the Ronaldos, these kind of players of this world were on the downward scope. The exhibition they put on is crazy, but the game's lost. The game's about the system first, the individual second. Like, it's gone now. But I've stopped crying about the old days. Like, unfortunately, lads, whether I like it or not, this is what is in front of us, isn't it? Like, this is what
I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go. No, I will watch my top 10 compilations of Hadji. I will.
No, a million percent. Like, this is the game, bro. Like, look at the players. I'll be real. Unpopular opinion. In the present day, I rate Kevin De Bruyne. I rate Trent. They're described as creative, right? For me, that's not creativity. Like, it's not. In the modern day, it is. That's not doing the same thing a million times. That's not creativity to me.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah, they've got it in them and they practice like I'm going to hit the same ball a million times, but that's not creativity. Creativity.
Who's your favorite footballer right
Huh?
now, apart from Arsenal players? Obviously, no Arsenal players. Who's your favorite footballer to watch?
I can't lie. It's going to take you lot left. It's either that Yao Mao guy or Ryan Cherky from Lyon. I'll be serious. Or Doué from PSG. It's them kind of ones. Like guys that are on just humiliating players. I'm on that. Carrot Skeeler's a shout. I see that in the chat. Him as well. Who we're gonna see what he's about. Ozil's not kicking ball anymore. Neither is Maradona. So
Vinny,
I hear that.
No Vinny. No one likes Vinny here. Vinny's my guy.
I like him. He's very direct.
I like him, but
he's very. What about Vitinha of Portugal?
Baller.
Yeah, Vitinha.
Baller, but is he a baller like that though? We're not gonna remember him 5-10 years from now.
I think what it is, right, is that it's about the trying it. I think what we watch, you know, when we see teams that are so well drilled defensively, position wise as well. I like it when I see a player like Vitinha,
Pedri,
and trying to sort of break those lines with creativity and passing. He still tries to do it. It doesn't always work, but you know what I mean. It's fun to watch because I do think that, I think the rest of Europe would like a Barcelona PSG final. But I know, and I'll put my house on it, that one of those teams will play it safe just to win because it's the final.
We're winning it, man. Fuck it.
All the players that we mentioned right now, where do they play? Does any one of them play in the Premier League?
No, they don't.
That's why Ryan Cherky is not going to get signed by Arsenal, because you're a baller with a football, but you need to be able to defend and do all of this and heat maps, and you got to stand here so the player can receive it and do all of that. And so again, I don't want to keep trying. That's what it is.
In the world, then. For entertainment and football finesse, it's not the greatest league in the world. It's just the hardest league and more competitive.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's an arguable, Ken. Yeah, I believe you 100%, mate.
Man is saying Ryan Cherky's lazy.
Facts.
The game's gone.
Algerians are all lazy, man. Zinedine Zidane, Mahrez, Cherky, all lazy.
But you should be able to be lazy, bro. It's not your job.
Facts.
Just quickly, can I respond to Kwame in the chat? And he put one of my favourite goals of all time.
What's he saying?
By that man, the World Cup goal against Argentina, Dennis Bergkamp, when Dubai pinged the ball across field.
So I'm saying the commentary
beat Roberto Ayala with one goal and then flicked it in the outside of his right boot in the top net.
So why do you man hate on Odegaard then? Because he's like a throwback creative player.
He's not effective. He's not playing effective football. And the reason why Odegaard's got a lot of criticism is
9 games.
It was where it gets Real Madrid. When Real Madrid were trying to get in the ball and they were trying to overrun us in midfield, they targeted Odegaard.
Naturally.
And I think if you look in the first game, Camavinga was just bouncing him around like he was some little bear, just saying, get out my way. And I think that's one of the reasons. You look at PSG, the way they played, I think it was described by Sad, how they try to win the ball back within 2 seconds of losing possession, and that the reason why they're able to play their football in Europe especially in the knockout stages, the championship rounds. I'm a boxing fan, so I say championship round, is because of the work rate. People assume that they're just going to get up and just play and try and play for us. No. What they're going to do is that they're going to win that ball back. Remember, they've got a lot of athletes. You talk about you talk about the midfield. You know, the midfield.
And they got a crazy bastard of a coach like Mikel Arteta.
They're all Diddy men, but in terms of like the defence, they're all like that. Mendes, left back like that. I can't wait to see that battle between him and Saka. That'd be fun. You know what I mean?
Saka's got him, man.
Mendes like that, who's going to run down, and then you've got Hakimi and Martinelli, where Hakimi says, "All right, mate, let's see if you can keep up with me with pace, because there's no quicker person in football than me." That's going to be a lovely battle.
I'm more confident in Saka than Martinelli's side, isn't it? Because I think Hakimi's a bit stronger going forward than Mendes. I think Mendes is prone to falling asleep, and I think Mendes will know, like, I'm playing against Saka, I'm gonna have to respect him and whatnot. I think that's the real. I'll be real. I think it sounds mad to say because Real Madrid are Real Madrid on paper, but I think I think PSG is the real test for Lewis Skelly and Timber in particular. That's just my thoughts. If we get through that,
there's no Partey though. Are you worried? I'm worried.
%. How can you not be worried about no Thomas Partey? Because who the hell comes in? Is it Jorginho, which Arteta was evasive? Is Arteta going to put Marino there? I don't know.
I think he'll play Marino.
Look at the names you're bringing up.
He has to. There's nothing else to do.
Look at the names, Kenny.
Play Marino though. There, I can see why you say it, but you think like you put Marino down there and he disrupts everything we've got going up top. I think you should just keep Miles Lewis Skelly there, because I've heard some people say put him there. Keep Miles Lewis Skelly.
I wouldn't mind that.
Keep Marino up top. And just put Zinchenko maybe at left side, left 8.
That's where it gets political. Aaron, that's where it gets fugazi. I'm not going to lie to you. When
if we drop Marino down, if we drop Marino down, then what are we going to do up top? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to play.
And then if you put left back, you can't invert.
That's another player that I didn't mention for, obviously you got Real Neves, but Fabian Ruiz.
Baller.
He's another one who tries to open the door. He doesn't have the work rate of quite a lot of players, but when
he's like a Busquets.
Yeah,
he's like a Busquets. Yeah,
give him the ball, you're in trouble.
Let's keep on trying that pass. Obviously, I know more from watching Spain, and I have to admit, I've got my favourite international team to watch is Spain. I've always loved the way Spain play. The way they're an exception to the low block. They think, okay, no problem. We're good enough to pass our way through that, and 9 out of 10 times they're successful. What they do. That's why I think Spain are a breath of fresh air. It hurt me when England lost the European Championships. In fact, I was gutted. But if I was a neutral, I would definitely have wanted Spain to win that game because of the way they play football.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I think we'll suffer without Partey, because the best thing we're good at is actually. Yeah, best thing we're good at is just being physical in that midfield. You know what I'm saying? Getting the ball
and
back,
just running more than everyone and all that,
and just running more than everyone. Exactly. And without him, look at the players you're mentioning. Jorginho, come on, bro. Jorginho.
Because now right change his game slightly. Because
you're faster than him, DJ. I bet you're faster than him.
Exactly.
I bet you're faster than Jorginho.
He's out. He's not even playing. He's in.
Surely he's there though, man. Is it Palace or something next week? Surely Jorginho's there against PSG. I'm sure we got a game midweek next week. And it's not
the thing about these league games,
we're not done for a few weeks. No, maybe
these league games.
I'm sure we got one. Yeah, we got Palace on Wednesday, the 23rd of April.
We got 2
Ipswich Sunday, then Palace, and then it's the Jorginho. Surely back.
Palace have been brought forward because they're in the league FA Cup semi-final next Saturday. So,
and they're going to throw that.
Yeah, you know what? I can understand why you guys worry, why Rashi's worried about Partey, because when I was watching a bit of the Villa game, especially not so much at Villa Park, but when in Paris, one thing PSG did, and they did a lot of that at Anfield as well, especially in extra time, those second balls, they won those second balls. And that's one of the reasons why I do worry about. There have been times, even in the Premiership, that even though we played that, low block, mid block, we're really the best team in doing it. We have had teams that have disrupted the way we played and forced us into errors, which they've capitalised on. And these are like I said, Monday to Friday Premiership teams. I don't call them Monday. I just call them Monday to Friday teams. Whilst this is a team, a serious team, who's already won their league as well. So just as much as we're going to rest players, they may not have the extra day, the extra weekends rest than us, but rotation is going to be their god because they want to win this competition. They have to. And to be honest, it's going to be sticking two fingers up to the Mbappes and Neymars of the world, the big stars, big money. Went, right, you're the superstars are left, and now we can win things in Europe. You know what I mean? So this is the biggest game of the year for both clubs. Arsenal haven't won the Champions League. PSG out win the Champions League. Arsenal have to because they can't let Chelsea be the only team in London win it. PSG has spent shed loads of money. They spent trillions. That's an exaggeration.
It's the only way to put a positive on our season. Let's have it right.
It's an exaggeration. They don't spend trillions, but they'll get there eventually. But
they'll clip you for that, Ken. They'll clip you.
Yeah. But come on, I exaggerate when I say spent trillions, but come on, they spent serious money.
They spent ridiculous amounts of money, man.
Yeah. Was it just 400 or 500 on Neymar and Mbappe alone? I think when it.
And again, if we were accountants, imagine how much the wages and the true cost of the transfer because they're giving them P's. Like, say what you want about Arsenal, we're never giving Neymar the chance to go to Carnival and have the time off and do all of those kind of things. PSG was a circus, man. They're actually better now that they're more team focused.
The only thing we've got in their favour is that if you look at their team, they've got a very young team. They've got a lot of players. They've got a few players in their teens, and they've got a lot of players who the old are between 20 and 24. Now, I'm not saying,
but that's us as well, though.
Yeah, that's us as well to a certain extent. But there's a lot of young players in there, which is good. But when it comes to experience and adversity, we've got to use our extra experience to our advantage.
So then, Kenny, let me ask you. Sorry to cut you, but then let me ask you. Yeah, with that being said, then. Where's this game won and lost? And not just for Kenny, but you, man. Like, is it at home or away? Like, where are you at with that? Because we're quite even then.
As in, what we're gonna do at home against them?
How you lot feel the two legs against Paris Saint-Germain are going then? Like, because Kenny made a good point about the experience.
I think without Partey, we'll draw. I think they will open us without Partey. To be honest, I think what Partey does in this midfield is because look, Declan Rice is like I said, Declan Rice is a good player. I know everybody will be on your case right now if you said anything about Declan Rice or Saka or that. Yeah, but Declan Rice, mad player, you know what I'm saying, but great player. But he has to play in the pivot. Declan Rice doesn't play by himself as a number 6, as a lone number 6. I've seen Kante do it. Very rare players that can play a number 6 by themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? You can see Rodri. Do you know what? That's the reason why Pep used to put Stones next to him is because Rodri couldn't play that number 6 by himself, as in defend that number 6 by himself, not going forward. Because Rodri's crazy going forward. But so Rice is a pivot player. Guess who's gonna play again next to him? Moreno. Moreno is a striker, man. He's not a midfielder. You get what I'm trying to? I don't know who played him as a midfielder. I don't know who played him as a number 6 because for a team like Arsenal. I don't think you're good enough, in my opinion.
But then what you're saying though is you bring him out of position then to play him in midfield though. That's what I'm not getting. That's why I'd leave him up top.
But then what else? For me, I'm putting him in midfield.
But who you gonna play?
What else we got?
Because he's not going to play MLS.
I reckon
he should.
Yeah, he's not. He's not doing the MLS thing. He's not bringing in Tierney.
He's not doing it.
Yeah, so he might as well
put
Marino there, man.
I would play the Tierney and then the MLS to help Rice, give him a bit of energy. And MLS can carry the ball as well.
And then Rice has to go to the right. Arteta ain't doing that now.
We're going to play against the technical team. Yeah. You know how technical teams play. They're not like a Real Madrid. Real Madrid are direct. These are technical players.
And you know he wants the 2 inverted 6s, which Lewis Kelly is.
We're playing against a team. We're playing a team. Like, as much as I think without certain players to actually, without Carvalho and Militao to, demand tactical discipline from the superstars, they played like individuals, and we now saw from both our games in the quarterfinal why Real Madrid just scraped through into the knockout stages, because it shattered. Because when they played a serious team like us, we were able to exploit the gaps, and basically make them run out of ideas. And I think PSG, you're right. We're playing a team, and there are situations. The midfield last year cost us against Bayern Munich. The midfield this year has to be perfect. But you're right. One thing I said yesterday on Dan's channel: if you go behind against us, bad move.
It's long. Yeah, it's long.
It's a long night for you because we're the worst team that you could try and chase the game.
We're not going to do the PSG thing and keep attacking. Like with that, I actually like that from them from a neutral point of view, but we're not going to keep running forward. I'm not saying we won't attack, but we're not going to get broken down like that.
We have to win at the Emirates. Yeah.
$1,000,000%.
It doesn't matter whether it's 2-1, 3-2, or 1-0. We have to take a lead to Paris in order to put us in control of the game and put the onus on Paris to come at us and then take risks. And you know what happens when you leave a space, we kill you. But if it's a situation where it's 0-0 or 1-1 with the absence of away goals, it's another game where winner takes all, where who's the bravest? Who's the bravest of them all? Who's gonna not want to make that mistake?
I think PSG are more likely to take the risk than us in that regard.
Yeah, they're proud to demand it, but then again, it has to be done with brain, not that.
Got to be sensible.
We win. If they do it with brain,
why we have an
long night.
That's why we have an opportunity against them, because they will give us space. It's all going to matter again to how well we defend and how quick and effective and cold we can be when we hit them on the counter, isn't it? It's just as simple as that. That's how we've done.
I'm going with 4, mate.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the low block. You're going to get minimum chances.
Copy and paste.
If you don't bury them, that's about it. Against Real
Madrid, but they don't even do the low
block
block team, though, man.
Oh, okay. Let's say mid block. We played a mid block.
Yeah, they're more on the mid. They're more on the mid block thing.
No. I'm saying us against PSG.
Oh no, us. We're doing the stinkiest of mid and low blocks, 100%. I wouldn't even say low blocks. We're on the halfway line, innit?
Do you know what I'm saying? We're going to create minimum chances. So if you don't bury those chances, those 3 or 2 chances that you're going to get, it's a long day in the office. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
who is going to score? If it's not Saka, I'm like, I don't know.
It has to be because he's the one player. I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that he was brought back from injury. They accelerated his rehab, and he was ahead of schedule because Saka is the person who could do things out of nothing. His first goal in the Bernabeu is a Saka-esque. Yeah. Do something out of nothing. You know where Rashid says Saka and Martinelli weren't the effervescent players that everyone thinks they were, but Saka's a moments player, and he's probably the only moments player we've got.
100%.
And that's why you look at Bukayo Saka and you think, there's a reason why, against my will, because I thought he should be rested at the end of the season. I think
we all did, but we're at man.
But he has scored against Fulham. He has created moments situation, and that's why how you win Champions League is moments. How you win knockout games is moments, and that's you have to, I suppose, get your best moments player at in those sort of situations. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to lie. I think Odegaard will get a hat trick at the Emirates, and we'll win 3-0.
By God's grace, man. I don't care who scores, how we score, just that we score, and we go to this final. They've made us believe we can do this, or we're close.
You need another individual brilliance.
More chance of a rocking or shitting Rashid, mate. Don't worry about that. Innit?
That's my point, Aaron. Look, I'm all for individual brilliance. But that's the thing. It's the same thing as the set piece thing. Like you shouldn't rely on it. You shouldn't rely on the individual.
We need that. When last did we do that? When last we scored from a set piece?
December.
I'm
too quick.
Yeah, but referees and teams have worked us out.
Marino got one v Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, like I'm on that. If we can scumbag our way to the final, I'm on that. By hook or by crook. But we're this close from a final. We're 2 games from a Champions League final. Like, I don't think we're deep in how close we are.
For a set piece. We got a penalty for a set piece. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. But it should be a plan. I just didn't. I just don't think it should be a plan. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think individual brilliance should be our plan as well. I think there should
No,
be a
it
plan.
can't be our plan. That's silly. That's what Real Madrid tried. It didn't bang.
No, but
you know what? Sometimes you need that.
Opportunities come to you, though. Opportunities
Yeah.
might come to you. You wait. Mistakes do happen. People make mistakes. Football matches. You can't go 90 minutes without someone having a Willie Young moment. You just hope that the Willie Young moments ain't in your own box.
Individual moments,
but we were 4-0 up when we had the Willie Young moment with Vinicius Junior's goal. But again, when it's a tight games, there is going to be winning moments.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about making a mistake, giving away a foul. Look at those two Willie Young moments on Saka cost Real Madrid the game. A tie.
Yeah.
2000 Saka, Declan Rice, bang,
goal. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that was great. Nobody expected it.
Oh yeah, that's it, man. Moments do win. I always think when I think about moments and moments players, man, I always go back to when Liverpool won it, man. And it ain't just that final comeback against Milan. I remember that goal he scored against Olympiacos in the 6th game. And they were out. And was it Will Mellor or Neil Mellor or
Will
whatever?
Mellor and Cinema Pongo.
What a name. Aaron Henkenny, what a throwback.
Yeah.
Gerard
just pings it in that top left-hand corner.
Wonder what he's doing these days.
Yeah, and that gets them through to that probably last 16 or quarter-final. It gets them through, and then look what happened in Milan. Do you know what I mean? You got Xabi Alonso scores the penalty. Yeah, Gerard obviously scores a goal. I can't think who scores the third one. It weren't Garcia. I don't think that's gone out my head now.
But that was a pub quiz. I would have failed. I better know the name as well.
Annoying, man. I know Xabi Alonso scored.
I was just about to say that, but I wasn't confident that Xabi Alonso scored the last one because he scored like a tapping.
He scored the second goal.
Who was it?
Vladimir
Spezia. That's the one.
Yeah, I would have lost that. I wouldn't have got him.
And then
I would have got Gerard and Alonso. Forget the other one, man.
I just remember looking back at that season. I was just like, man, like just them moments, man. That's what carried it. And I just hope that. We can have them moments in them tight situations. You know what I mean? I just hope Declan Rice ain't used all his free kicks up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, trust. He needs to do that in front.
Yeah.
I can't lie. My last question for you lot before you let you lot get out of here, yeah, because I just saw a question. I don't know where it's got. Someone said Donnarumma's much better at penalties. If it goes to penalties, and we did go out to Man United on penalties, if it goes to penalties against PSG, are you lot confident?
No.
Fair play. Neither am I. You lot answered it too quickly. I like it. I thought I was going to get.
Hasn't showed us.
No.
He did do it against Porto, did he not?
Auto.
I think so. Yeah. He did do it against
It's not just about the keeper. It's not just about the keeper. It's that Saka.
The takers,
with all great
yeah, we got to take pens as well.
With all great respect to him, he can blow hot and cold.
I think he's
Odegaard, look at what he done against Manchester United. Look at that. That was pathetic. I'm not worried about our goalkeepers. I'm worried about our takers. Yeah.
Who the fuck is going to take the pen? Saka with? And I hope it's not like the three iconic ones we've seen.
Hopefully.
If Jorginho's on the pitch.
You know, my little boy said to me, he's only 7 years old, with the Real Madrid game in the second leg when Saka was there, and obviously Odegaard had the ball.
Kids are brutally honest. Let's hear this.
He looked up at me and he was like, "Dad, why is Odegaard taking a penalty?" I was like, "I don't know, son, but I'm not happy with it." And he laughs because he knows I don't like it. And then Saka went for it and he went, "Dad, how come Saka's not taking it now?" Because Declan Rice last week scored 2 goals from 35 yards. And he's only got a score from 12 yards now. I don't understand.
Kids are brutally honest, and it makes sense.
I was like, my boy.
No, Saka tried to be slick. I don't think Saka's bad at penalties. He tried to be slick.
He should have just smashed it properly. He was feeding himself too much. But in a weird way, I like it. But you missed.
I don't blame him for what he did.
It's the same as Saliba.
Yeah, he tried to live a movie. He tried to get iconic moment. It's cool.
I don't think it was.
Don't do it again, though.
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was the size of the goalkeeper. They looked at Courtois and he thinks, right, Courtois knows where I'm going to go. That guy is like Spectre Gadget. He'd probably get to it. So I'm going to do something Courtois doesn't expect. So that's why.
Come on, Kenny, man. You really believe that? Nah, that was dead from Saka. He read it as well. Like, he read it. Like, you saw the hand.
Right.
At least chip it straight down the middle at the very least, because you know he's going to die.
The reason I'm saying it is because I remember Courtois' performance in the Champions League final against Liverpool 2 years ago. I remember his performance against us, and I look at the size of him, and you remember the pressure penalty. Goalkeepers nowadays, they just filled the bloody thing.
Yeah.
They filled the bloody thing.
And he's like 9 foot tall as well, to be fair.
You know what? You know why I like watching games live and going to the stadium? Because on TV, I don't know what it's like when you watch penalty shootouts on TV. You see how TV make the goal, make everything like a square, and they make the goal seem so small. And you're thinking,
real life is a different ball game, man.
It actually makes it exciting for the viewer, but in the stadium,
Courtois scary. I agree.
Size. But I have to admit, when we played Man United and I saw their goalkeeper, and I thought he saved the first penalty from Odegaard in normal time. When it came to extra time, I thought, we're not winning this. I saw the Man United players on their toes, jumping up and down, laughing.
They're ready.
The same PSG when they played Liverpool. I didn't think Liverpool were going to win it. I just looked at the PSG players and they're going,
let's go.
They're ready for this,
innit? They fancied it. Yeah. Courtois, yeah.
And the later we go on, the more you need a David Raya or the defenders to make the difference.
In both games, 100%.
He ain't messing, man. 100%.
Raya's a good shot stopper, but like, I don't know about when it comes to penalties, he hasn't showed us anything to be like, you know.
He's
too early in that one.
Well, isn't he? Because remember that time when West Ham beat us 2-0 at the Emirates and he saved a goal from Rama to stop it from going to 3-2, 3-0. And then obviously he saved a couple of penalties in the penalty shootout against Porto. Since then, he dies before the kick.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know if he's been briefed to do that, but he's been a mess.
It's all about our takers and not the goalkeeper, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like Aaron said, we score, we're right.
Yeah.
Guys, penalties is a flip of a coin. That's what I believe.
Exactly.
It's a flip of a coin. Let's not let it go there because you know Arsenal, we've got a curse. I know.
Would you take it? Would you take it right now, Rashid? Would you take it right now? If someone said to you in Paris it's going to go to penalties, would you take that now?
Fuck it, yeah.
No.
It depends.
Well, that means we have a chance of going through, so fuck it. Like, I'll take it.
But DJ, come on, maybe we can win this.
My heart won't take it, man. My heart can't take that.
Maybe we can win
I'm on that because that means that we skip through 90 minutes. We can go through to the next round. We could lose. The flip side of that question is, all right, cool. You get rubbed out in the 90th minute. At least we go to pens. If we have the bottle, we're through. We're in the final. We're laughing.
90 minutes. And then
what are you saving the energy? Why would I save the energy?
No, but Aaron said, would you take pens now? I don't know how normal minutes of 90 minutes are going to go. You lot are right. We could batter them. Or we could get moved to.
I don't want
penalties means we have a chance to go through. I have that now. We got like 2 weeks to work on pens. I know Saka's taking one. That's the problem.
If you get a knockout stages of a cup,
if he's on the pitch,
you have to practice penalties. In modern football, if you don't practice penalties, you're taking your life in your hands.
I think Lewis Kelly would take one. Saka would, but who else is that? We ain't got 5 pen takers.
They got Donnarumma.
Everyone should take penalties.
I'll have pens.
Raya hasn't shown.
I'll take pens in the final. I know it's mad.
I don't trust him like that. As when it comes to penalties, I don't really trust him like that. He saved some, and he's like the other day he jumped before the guy even took a shot. He jumped before he even took it. I don't know. I don't want to put it to luck. I want to play it out. I want to play the stinky low block that we usually do. Let's just hope that Martinelli catches that counter attack. Let's just hope that Saka's on his day. And I don't know, long live the king, innit? To get me, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Cross everything and pray to God, man.
The other thing that's lost to all of you guys, you know what? The thing that's lost to all of us, and this is going to be actually quite perverse, and that's why I call this a season of contradictions. The first season of contradiction is we're celebrating the prospect of winning the Champions League, right? But if we lose against Ipswich on Sunday, and Liverpool beat Leicester City, Liverpool won the title on Easter Monday, April 20th. And then you've got another. Then, if you want the second season of contradictions, the team that is 14th and 15th is in the semi-finals of the Europa League, where they can meet each other in the final, where they could both get in the either one of them could get in the Champions League, where they are 14th and 15th. And get into seeded, and then they could play the Super Cup. The team that finished 14th and 15th.
My word.
Now tell me this isn't a season of footballing contradictions.
Arsenal v Spurs Super Cup, Kenny.
I'm on that.
Spurs contradictions, mate. Arsenal, who gave Liverpool the title on a plate, we just said, just have it. We're not that good this season.
We didn't even try.
And you got Spurs who finished 15th, and they're in it.
There's three potential London club trophy parades. I don't know if Chelsea will have a trophy parade for the conference, but if Arsenal win it, Spurs win it, Chelsea win it.
They will, because they'll probably say we're the only team in London.
We've won all three of them. Shameless.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse trophy, man.
Completed it, mate.
Oh man. My last question for you, lot, then, yeah. Go on, Kenny.
Season where the best, where Liverpool won it deservedly at Cantor, and they deserve to be in the league. Arsenal done nothing in any of the competitions, but the Champions League they can win it when they're probably more equipped to win it under Arsene Wenger, when they had some of the best players ever to play the Premiership. Yet we got close in 2006 with a makeshift team.
Don't remind me.
We surrendered the title early doors, and we could get in the Champions League final and probably win it. Season of footballing contradictions.
Football's a funny old game. Like, do you lot? My final question for you lot to end on, yeah. Like, in your hearts of hearts, do you think we'll win the champs? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna only talk positivity into this. I'm trying to pull it into the universe.
You're trying to balance it. I hear that.
No, man, because they've made me believe, like, come on now. Look what you did to Madrid. Get over the line, man. Or we know what's going to face us. We all know the streams we're going to be talking about if we don't get over the line. I'd rather it not be that. So I'm going to say yes.
I think Inter Milan will win it. So I'll say no.
Oh,
but we can. If we can win it, will we is a different question. I think Inter Milan will.
Inter looks serious. I'll give them the favourite tag.
Said it from the start. But we can. We can win it.
Unfortunately, football nowadays is not about trophies. It's not about how good you are. Do you know what I'm saying? It really does. It's not about that. It's about what you do in that moment. If you have those moments, you can take it home. You can win it. I think Inter Milan would only beat us. The only team that can really beat us in this Champions League is Inter Milan, due to the way they play. Obviously, we've talked about it before. But Barcelona and PSG, I'll be real, I think like we can take them. But
I agree.
But obviously, I didn't know that Partey didn't play. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that Partey was not going to play, I don't know. I hope that the first leg goes as planned. You know what I'm saying? The little 2-0.
And then Partey's obviously back.
But then we get Partey back. But listen, it's not looking good. But that's a conversation for another day, of course. But yeah, I'll go into Milan.
I have to say that I'm going to go international as well. So that's 3-1. Because
I think Inter are the favourites. I'm just trying to be positive.
Yeah. I think no, don't get me wrong. I like.
Unfortunately,
I'm a massive. I think we've got the team to do it, but I just think Inter Milan has probably been quietly the best team in this competition so far. Because at the time, if you asked me a couple of months ago, I would have said Liverpool would have walked this because they played the best football, but they peaked too early. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the reasons why I think, you know, they fell away. And, you know, luckily they had the league to fall back on for them anyway. But in terms of like Arsenal, it's now and ever for Arsenal. It really is now and ever. But we're going to need a lot of luck to beat Internazionale, because it's going to be a game of chess, and it's who defends better and who's got the best.
We need them to go out against Barca, man. Let's be real. We need Barca to win that. I think we've got more of a chance against Barca.
I can't see Barca, Inter Milan. Inter Milan have got the game plan to beat Barca.
They just look too good, but no one had us beating Madrid, no matter what Madrid looked like.
I hear what you're saying, but I do think that the team that is going to win the Champions League is going to be the most complete footballing team.
Yeah, and that is Inter.
All the disciplines well. I'm not saying Barcelona don't have a great defence and they don't have a great, you know, hard-working midfield. I just think that defensively, Inter Milan, their defence is going to see them through, and they got the ability and
I don't think you're wrong.
Mindset. Man. If they go a goal down, they'll come back. You know what I mean?
As you saw against Bayern Munich, that's one thing I said in my stream earlier. It's like Inter have this sense of, we've conceded, we need to score immediately. Somehow, some way, they find a way of making it happen.
They won us up 2 years ago as well,
and they got that fresh in the wind.
Yeah, and they got that solid midfield as well.
Barella,
you know how Arteta always likes to overload the midfield? Guess what? Inzaghi likes to do that too.
And
now
their
we're
wing back.
going player for player. Now we're going player for player, and then the thing is that then our chances are going to drop to one chance the whole game.
Yeah.
Instead of three.
That's why we need Saka, because as much as I was against him a few weeks ago playing, that's where the moments players got to turn
Saka's
up.
your boy, huh, Kenny? He's your boy, isn't it?
Oh, don't let well, who's that guy? What's his name again in the chat? Don't let him say that. He's your pal.
Is it underbelly?
I'm not going to say Saka because I don't think I'm allowed to, because I'll be accused of unconscious bias.
Nah, don't blame me, man. Saka, I've never been worried about Saka. Even when he was
Saka,
playing
we
as a
trust
left back.
realistically.
Even when he was playing as a left back, he's just that kind of player. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got that flair, but you need him. You need him in the team. But Inter Milan, that's gonna be a long day. That's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be terrible to watch.
They do everything we do, but better.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be a stink fest still. It'll be if we both got to the final, it'll be a horrible final. As long as it ends in us winning, don't give a fuck. But it'll be horrible. I would love to beat Barca because it'd be romantic, but we need to do our job against PSG, man. First and foremost.
Let's not forget, Real Madrid stank the place out, stank Wembley out in 22.
Dortmund should have won it, but they didn't take the chance.
And they stank out Paris out in 2022, and they still won. They stank the place out.
Yeah.
So if we can stink our way to a trophy, Arteta gets a statue, and we're lifting it. I'm on that.
You know, that is like the sort of like how do I say it? A1 club, but they played safety first football in both times and both won. Both won the cup. Man City won exactly like Man City didn't exactly play beautiful football to beat Inter, did they?
Guys,
that was a horrible final. I will be honest, that was shit. Which, as the neutral, I'm entitled to say that. But at the end of the day, City won it, and the fact that City won the Champions League before us means we need to get our act together, man. Aaron, good catch you on DGC. Come on, Aaron's part of the furniture, as is Rashid, as is Kenny, man. Let people know where they can find you. Look, obviously, Kenny's not on the YouTube thing beyond the period and stuff, so big him up. But the rest of you,
young people.
I will be doing my calling show with Rashid's jumping on as well with me in 25 minutes time over on mine. Yeah,
right. I'm cutting it fine. Why didn't you say that sooner? I would have given you let you have a rest and whatnot, man.
No, I'm all good, man. Yeah, no.
Let people know they find that.
I'm going to be apologising. It's going to be so much apologising on there, honestly. So much. It's just going to be 2 hours of saying sorry to everyone. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. But yeah, if you
there's no sorry to it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Arsenal. Yeah. Well, if you want to see everyone on the panel, just apologise. Just that's all we're going to do is just say sorry for our horrendous crimes.
Oh wait, Aaron, quickly. Aaron, send me a link. Let me what do they call this on YouTube, man?
Redirect.
Yeah, redirect. Send me a link quick. It's just hyperlink.
To the thing. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, it just makes sense. People don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. Let's just do that.
How much would you give Arteta if he wins the Champions League?
Brother, you get a statue, bro.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna say.
You don't get a new contract for that, but you're cool. You're my guy.
Okay.
All right, Rashid, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? It's his job.
It's your job.
To be fair, he spoke about wanting to win them things, so you gotta want to do it, innit? And it saves us a bit. So there you have it. But yeah, folks, we're hyperlinking ourselves back to Aaron's channel. Again, this stream's going to finish and we're going over there. Bless up my three brothers for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. Enjoy your Fridays, innit?
One love.